Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton was meant to be the main event on Sunday, but what followed was nothing short of chaos and confusion which threatened to steal the limelight away from two of F1's greatest ever drivers. Ever since the Bahrain Grand Prix, it was clear the 2021 season was going to be special. Mercedes had dominated F1 to the point where some fans, and drivers, were losing interest in the sport. Hamilton had broken new ground which was previously unthinkable by matching Michael Schumacher's record. And heading into the 2021 season, Hamilton was the strong favorite once again to lift the World Championship come the end of the year. But Red Bull managed to give Verstappen a car capable of challenging for race win on a regular basis. Not only that, both Verstappen and Hamilton were unyielding on the track which resulted in some of the most dramatic collisions in recent memory. Things came to a head at the British Grand Prix as Hamilton and Verstappen collided at Copse Corner, with the latter being sent flying into the wall in an astonishing 51G impact. Just 2 months later and there was more controversy as Verstappen landed his car on top of Hamilton's head after coming together at Monza, taking them both out of the race. Just last week, there was a testy moment between the pair as Hamilton accused Verstappen of brake testing him as the Mercedes driver drove into the back of his rival before racing on to win. Putting the collisions aside though, what made this year extra special was the ability both drivers showed on the track. Crashes were almost inevitable given how close they both were to each other in terms of speed and bravery. Millions all over the world were tuning in on Sunday to see the final act in one of the greatest shows on earth. And it appeared at one stage that Hamilton had the title sewn up before Nicholas Latifi crashed out in the final few laps. What ensued confused everybody watching, and seemingly both garages as the FIA couldn't make up their mind. After the lapped cars were let through though, Mercedes garage were incensed as Toto Wolff let rip at Michael Masi. The FIA race director appeared to lose his cool in communication with Wolff, biting back with, "Toto, it's called a motor race. We went car racing." Once Verstappen was allowed to race Hamilton on the final lap, it seemed inevitable the Dutchman would seal victory with the new softs tires. And there were great scenes in the Red Bull side of the pit lane as Verstappen crossed the line to finish a bonkers race as the 2021 world champion. But the FIA's decision towards the end of the race opened the door for an obvious appeal as Mercedes wanted answers. It was messy and for a few hours there was genuine confusion on what the outcome would be. The man caught in the middle of all this ugly mess was Verstappen, who faced an anxious wait on what would happen. Hamilton, to his credit, had already shown his graceful side by congratulating both Max Verstappen and his father, Jos. The FIA eventually rejected both protests from Mercedes late in the night, although Mercedes have now lodged its intention to appeal. The subplot has taken away headlines belonging to Verstappen winning his first ever world championship and the incredible fight Hamilton gave until the very last lap. This season will go down as arguably the best in F1 history, with Verstappen booking his place alongside Hamilton as one of the greatest drivers in the sport ever. But the FIA have tarnished that somewhat with their dubious actions in the closing stages of the season, taking the limelight away from the two main stars of the show in Hamilton and Verstappen.